What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I want to say thank you guys for all of your support. And today I do have my water with me, so unlike the last video, hopefully I won't cough like a maniac. And guys, spring water, just as a side note, is probably one of the best things you can have. It has a lot of minerals. It honestly makes you feel a lot better than just regular water. And something I want to talk about today, this video is going to be about God is calling you to be a man. Now, what does that mean, right? Oftentimes as men, kind of like this bottled water here, stay with me. We want to strip out everything in life. We want it to be as pure and as smooth and as easy and simple as possible. But I don't believe that that's the life that God is calling us into as men. A lot of things have got me thinking, as they probably have you over the last couple weeks, right? We've had Charlie Kirk assassinated. We've had some crazy things happening around the globe, right? Seems like war is right around the corner. A lot of crazy things happening. And I think one of the biggest awakenings for men is really happening right now. I think a lot of men are looking at themselves in the mirror and going, what do I do? What can I do? What am I called to do? And guys, if that's you, I want you to stay tuned, because I've been there, and in many ways I'm still there. But I believe God's calling you to be a man. And this video today, I hope, is that spark that ignites that fire, that gets you going. You see, oftentimes in life as men, we get stuck. We get stuck in our heads. We get stuck with our circumstance. We get stuck with our shame, the things that we know that we shouldn't do, the vices, the addictions. We get stuck. And we try to come up with this master plan that if I can just do this, and if I just had this, and I can just get here, then I can make everything happen. But guys, it's a step-by-step process. And that fire that's in your heart, I believe every man has it. That fire that's in your heart, you need to act on that. You need to take it step by step. God's calling you to be a man. And that means by picking up your cross, doing the hard things, doing the things you know that you need to do. Sometimes, oftentimes, the things you don't want to do. Oftentimes in life, the harder path is better. It's going to have the greater reward. It's not going to be smooth. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to leave something lasting. A lot of guys, I think we want the same things in life, right? We want to be respected. That's really the number one thing. We want people to look up to us. We want to be respected. We want to help other people out. We want to give value into the world. And a lot of us as men have bought into the lie of mediocrity, of just settling, of just doing enough to get by, because we see the world. The world is constantly giving us these doom and gloom pictures of how we're never going to make it out, we're never going to amount to anything, and we're never going to make it far. And if that's you guys, well, welcome to the club, because as a man, that's what it feels like sometimes. But it's what you do in your life that makes the difference. You might have been the guy that has failed 1,000 times, but you keep going, and that's a good thing. I recommend every man reads Proverbs, right? And I say this in a lot of my videos because I believe it. God tests the hearts. He puts us through the crucible, like refining silver, refining gold. He burns away all the impurities. He's going to lead us through some tough times, but that's going to make you a better man. That's going to make you into the man that you want to be. And I believe that oftentimes it starts with just doing the hard things. You have to do those hard things. I try to live by something every day. It's called face a fear, right? Facing a fear can be, as soon as you identify it, right? Facing a fear every day can look like you want to talk to that girl. You don't have to go crazy, right? You don't have to make it weird. You just talk to her, right? You want to go to the gym, but you're afraid of what people are going to think about you, so you don't go. But if you go to the gym, if you go into the gym, you've already overcome that fear. And then you find out, like, okay, well, no one's, killed me yet, so I'm good, right? And yeah, people might judge you. People might look at you and go, what is he doing? But oftentimes, people in those environments are bettering themselves, guys. You have to realize that, like, social media has totally distorted our way of thinking in life. That's why I recommend you need to have a strong mind if you're going to be on social media. Sometimes it's better just to delete it for a bit, because once you go out and start living life, you'll actually find out that people are just people. And we're pretty much all trying to accomplish the same things, right? We want to be successful. We want to be confident. We want to be happy. We want to find purpose in our lives. If you insert yourself into those situations of bettering yourself, then you'll find it. And I think a lot of times as men, we also don't do the things we know we want to do and need to do. What do I mean by that? Every man watching this video right now, you want to do something. You want to do something that is going to better yourself, that's going to be better for other people. You want to socialize. You want to get into a circle. If you enjoy rock climbing, go rock climbing. If you enjoy the gym, go to the gym. If you enjoy sports, find a sports group in your area, because you're going to find that you're going to find like-minded people who are oftentimes going to be on a very similar path that you are. They're going to want to be bettering themselves. They're going to want to find that purpose in life, that drive in life. And oftentimes, a lot of these issues that men face, guys, I truly believe it can be solved by three things. One, highly recommend it. If you're not in the Word already, start reading your Bible. Start reading Proverbs, right? Psalms, Proverbs. Start reading the book of John. Start finding out what Jesus was talking about. You might have had preachers and people tell you it, but read it for yourself. Figure out what it is that God's calling you for, because once you read through the Word, once you read through the Bible, the Scripture, it'll speak to you. It'll show you. It'll guide your path. It'll guide you down the path that you need to go in. I believe that every man should also be pursuing something physical. I've already mentioned it, but if you enjoy something physical, go for it. And if you've never really been the physical, athletic, whatever type of guy, well, you probably have something that you at least want to try. Maybe you've always wanted to do powerlifting, or you've always wanted to learn soccer, or you've always wanted to do ultimate frisbee or rock climb, right? Or maybe you've always wanted to run a marathon. Well, figure out what it is that you need to do, the steps that are required to start going after that. All right, you don't have running shoes, go buy running shoes. Start by walking, then start by running. Find a running group. You have to insert yourself into these situations, because what's going to happen is, guys, and I'm telling you right now, because I can look back in my life, you're going to end up in a place where you're like, man, I wish I would have done that. Now, what I don't want you to do is regret. What I want you to do is reflect. Reflect on your failures and reflect on your victories. Reflect on what made you joyful. Reflect on what, kept you down, vices, addictions, things you shouldn't do. But find something you can pursue physically, because it does something to a man. It does something to your mind. It does something to your heart. When you become more confident in your body, I've said this before, but your body will naturally produce more testosterone, and then it's like a domino effect. You'll want to keep doing and keep pursuing things that make you feel more like a man, right? And I think the church, they don't really talk about this a whole lot, because I think there's this idea that's infiltrated, especially the Western mindset, that you don't really need to be masculine, right? Masculine's bad, masculine's dangerous. And that's not the case. Masculinity that's used for evil purposes is. But if you want to find purpose and drive, you got to do the things that you want to do, maybe the things that are going to be difficult, but put yourself through that. Guys, you got to refine yourself. You have to put yourself in hard situations. Every man, again, has that drive to go do it, so just do it, right? Figure out what it is. You know what it is, but figure out how to do it and start taking the steps in that direction. And the third thing, guys, I would recommend, and I think every man needs to do this, is socialize, right? We have this mentality, again, social media, guys, it's distorted everything. You can blame COVID, you can blame whatever you want. But we have this idea as men that socializing isn't important because it's all about me. I'm like the lone wolf, and I'm going to do things my way, and I'm going to take on the world solo. You might get kind of far, you might do some things, but guys, honestly, having guys around you, like iron sharpens iron, you're going to have a much better time if you have men that are going to push you. And see, what happens is men, a lot of times, will settle for groups, for people that are going to be stuck in whatever we're doing. So if you just really enjoy smoking weed, drinking, going to parties, clubbing, things like that, you're probably going to stay stuck in that mindset. You're probably not going to grow very much. But if you find guys who enjoy similar things you do, like sports, lifting weights, rock climbing, things like that. If you enjoy those things and then you find people in those groups that you can talk to, again, you're going to find that you guys have a lot in common. You're going to find that you guys have a lot of purpose. See, those people, guys, if you zoom out, are looking to better themselves. They're looking for the same thing you are. They're pursuing what they enjoy. They want to be around like-minded people, and they want to better themselves. It's as simple as that. They have the same mindset as you. But if you hang around people who are just chasing vices and chasing pleasure and chasing all those things, well, they're going to be stuck in that cycle. They're going to be stuck in that loop. So find groups, guys. Socializing also, I would recommend it. Try a church, right? This is something that I'm even working on too. But find a church. Find a church you can get plugged into. Find like-minded men. I know it can seem intimidating because people have different experiences and different perceptions of church and religion and things like that. But find a church, guys. There's a lot of like-minded men. There's still a lot of traditional, conservative-minded men out there who are at church. The church isn't all this new age thinking. So find a group of guys you can pursue what God is calling you to. Because if you don't, again, time's going to fly by and you're always going to have this nagging in the back of your mind. Every man, speaking for myself here too, every man has this drive within him to be better. Pick a superhero. Who's your favorite superhero? One of my favorite superheroes, probably my favorite, is Batman, right? So I want to be more like Batman, right? I want to be self-sufficient. I want to be able to protect, to provide. I want to be able to stand up to injustice, right? A lot of men, they want to do these things, but they get lost in video games. They get lost in fake achievement. They get lost in media, anime, whatever you want to call it. They get lost in these stories. But guys, you have the ability to make your story, to write those pages out, to go forward. You're never going to find your purpose by just sitting around doing nothing, right? You might get a little bit of clarity, right? But you're not going to have a practical, strategic purpose. You're just going to be sitting around overanalyzing, paralysis by analysis. We want to think about it. As men, we want to be logical. We want to have it all figured out. Have a plan, have a vision, have a idea, and act on it. Work on it. Go forward in that. And when you start taking those steps, guys, it's all going to become clear. Oftentimes, God just wants us to step out in faith. He's going to call us. He's not going to tell us exactly what it is, but he's going to say, hey, you, go. You need to do this thing, go do it. And you might think it's insignificant, right? You might think well, yeah, I really need to go to the gym. I really want to go to the gym, but what's that going to do for me? Well, it's going to make you resilient, right? You're going to find out that your body is going to respond to going to the gym. It's going to give you a feeling of confidence. It's going to make your mind resilient. You're going to get into a mindset and pattern of discipline. And you're going to find out that that is the key to happiness as a man. I don't like really saying happiness. I like to think of it more like joy. It's going to give you joy. It's going to give you purpose, drive. It's going to push you further in the direction that you want to go. Oftentimes, a lot of guys, they might just settle, right? They'll settle for just going to the gym, working, eating, sleeping, and repeating. But you're never going to get to where you want to go if you just purposely stay stagnant. A lot of guys, again, we think things are just going to fall into our laps. They're just going to happen. That's not the case. You have to find that drive, that thing that makes you want to go, okay, what can I do now? What more can I do? What am I being called to? What can I do? A great example, guys, making these YouTube videos. A lot of guys out there, I believe you could be doing the exact same thing as me. You could be doing similar things. Maybe not the exact thing, but you could be doing similar things. Maybe you have a skill, a passion, something you want to teach other people about, something you want to motivate other people with, something that you want to inspire hope with. And guys, if you do this for a long enough amount of time, if you truly believe you're called to do something, if you put in a good year or two, you're going to get results. You're going to help people. You're going to find purpose. And then as a man, we all want to be respected. And you're going to find that respect. You can't demand it, but you'll find it through the value you give other people. And then you'll be able to confidently date that woman that you want to marry. You'll be able to confidently approach women. You'll be able to confidently get into circles you want to be around. And one of the biggest things I think a lot of men fall into is thinking that they're not capable or that they're not good enough because you don't have elite genetics or you don't have a high IQ or you don't have a lot of money. Guys, you got to start somewhere. I can look back in my life. So, just a quick story for those of you who don't really know me, right? Quick story. This is going to help you guys out quite a bit. I grew up in a house, like I was the oldest of three brothers. So I always had that mindset of like looking out for other people, being responsible. And I grew up in a very like success driven environment where the things that I did had real like rewards. I was always pushed to do better, pushed to do more. And I got into my early 20s and I became complacent, right? I achieved a lot of things. I did a lot of things I wanted to do, but then I became complacent, fell into vices, dated women I shouldn't have really dated. And I just sort of fell into this slump for a few years. And thankfully, and this is what I want you guys to think when you guys think about your story, you got to reflect. You got to reflect, you got to analyze, you got to realize what you did that worked and what didn't work. I tried things, I failed. I tried things, I failed. I tried things, it worked, right? Maybe it worked for a little bit. I found out that I was pretty good at sales, pretty good at talking to people. The industry that I was in it for a little over a year. It ended up not working out. I gave it my all. I went further than I thought I would go. Didn't work out. Okay, cool. Well, you don't just give up. You don't just lose hope and say, okay, that's it. I tried, the end. No, you pivot. You figure out, okay, I'm good at this. These are my skills. This is what I learned. This is what I can do now. This is my best avenue to pursue now. Let me try this thing out, right? And you'll find that oftentimes that thing that you're called towards, that thing that you're like, you know what, maybe I should try it. Once you start pursuing it, doors will open. And I truly believe that that's the God-inspired spirit. That's the spirit that's calling you to do things, right? That's that fire that God put inside you as a man to pursue it, to take hold of it, right? Like God knows your story. God knows what's going to happen next. He's putting these things in your mind and your heart for a reason. If you follow his ways, if you do things the right way, it's all going to work out. Doesn't mean you're not going to hit bumps and potholes along the way, but you're going to find that doors will open, right? That your path is smoother than you thought it would be, that it's not all doom and gloom, that you're not a failure, that you're not incapable, right? You will have to push, but as a man, that's where you will find your purpose, is by pushing, by putting yourself through the pain, through the discomfort, through the things that are hard, through the things that you didn't think you could do or accomplish. And then all of a sudden, it's just like a domino effect. It'll just compound on itself. You'll be around the people you want to be. You'll date the women you want to date. You'll start to find more of your purpose. And sometimes some guys, they hit it early, young. They figure out what they want to do young and everything falls into place. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, right? Sometimes like guys like me, it's a mix of both. You do really well, you fall off, you try again, it works out, it doesn't really work out, but you keep trying different things. Great thing about it, guys, and I'll leave you with this. When God's calling you into your purpose, oftentimes we can look back and we can reflect on those things that we failed at and we can learn from them. It's like a play-by-play. It's like if you're into sports, right? It's like watching sports team or watching boxing and you're analyzing the fight, you're analyzing the play, analyzing how it went wrong and how it went right. Look at the good and the bad, right? Don't be a pessimist. Don't just be like, oh, this is what went wrong. And don't just be overly optimistic and go like, oh, these are my strengths. Look at both. Look at both and realize, okay, this is what I'm good at. This is what worked. This is what knocks me off the path. This is what, distracted me. This is the vice, the addiction that I need to cut out of my life because it's not helping me. It's not pushing me to be a man. And then once you start realizing the reality and you start moving forward in truth, right, in the way, in the life that God has for you, that's when you're going to find the clarity. That's when you're going to find the purpose. And some days it's going to be like, well, I don't know what I'm doing here. But you got to trust the process. That fire that's in you, it's burning slowly. Maybe it's not always a raging flame, but it's there, but it's there. And it's slowly building with time, right? And you'll find that if you keep pursuing the right things and you keep pursuing it, you're gonna be able to look back in a year or two, a few years, and go, whoa, the progress I made because I faced the fear, because I faced what I know I needed to do. So guys, if you need anything, let me know down below. I want to hear your guys' experiences. Thank you guys so much for watching, and Lord willing, I'll see you on the next one.